Captain Alex Walker stepped onto the new planet, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was a moment he had dreamed of since he was a child, staring up at the stars and wondering what lay beyond. Now he was here, on the surface of an alien world, ready to explore its mysteries. His boots sunk into the soft mossy ground, each step releasing a faint earthy aroma that filled the air. The ground beneath him was unlike anything he had ever felt before, a blend of softness and resilience that seemed to welcome his presence. It was as if the planet itself was alive, responding to his every move. The air was warm and smelled like sweet spices, a tantalizing blend of scents that made him feel both invigorated and at ease. It was a stark contrast to the sterile, recycled air of his spaceship. Here, every breath was a sensory experience, rich and full of life. He took a deep breath, savoring the unique fragrance that seemed to promise adventure and discovery. Above him, giant ferns glowed with a soft light, their bioluminescence casting an ethereal glow over the landscape. These plants were like nothing he had ever seen before, their leaves shimmering with a gentle, otherworldly light. It was as if the forest itself was alive with a quiet, serene energy, inviting him to explore its depths. The whole forest shimmered with amazing colors, a kaleidoscope of hues that danced and flickered in the dim light. It was a breathtaking sight, a living tapestry of color and light that seemed to pulse with a life of its own. Alex felt a sense of wonder and awe, as if he had stepped into a dream. Alex was alone, but he wasn't scared. Instead, he felt a profound sense of peace, a deep connection to this strange and beautiful world. It was as if the planet was speaking to him, its silent voice filling his mind with a sense of calm and reassurance. He knew that he was meant to be here, that this was his destiny. He felt peaceful, like the planet was saying hello and inviting him to explore. The gentle glow of the ferns, the warm, fragrant air, the soft, welcoming ground. All of it combined to create a sense of harmony and tranquility. Alex took a moment to simply stand and take it all in, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for this incredible experience. He knew that this was just the beginning of his journey, and he couldn't wait to see what other wonders this planet had in store for him. He followed a path, his footsteps crunching softly on the forest floor. The air was thick with the scent of pine and earth, and the canopy above filtered the sunlight into a mosaic of green and gold. Birds chirped melodiously, creating a symphony that harmonized with the rustling leaves. Drawn by a sound like faraway thunder, he quickened his pace. The sound was both eerie and inviting, a deep rumble that seemed to resonate with the very core of the forest. It was as if the earth itself was whispering secrets to those who dared to listen. The path opened into a clearing, and Alex gasped. The sudden expanse of open space was a stark contrast to the dense forest he had been navigating. The clearing was bathed in sunlight, and the grass beneath his feet felt like a soft, green carpet. A beautiful waterfall sparkled like diamonds, cascading down from a height that seemed to touch the sky. The water was so clear that he could see the smooth stones at the bottom of the pool. The sunlight danced on the surface, creating a mesmerizing display of light and shadow. Mist and rainbows filled the air, creating an ethereal atmosphere. The mist rose from the base of the waterfall, catching the sunlight and forming rainbows that arched gracefully across the clearing. It was a scene straight out of a fairy tale, a place where magic seemed not only possible but inevitable. And then he saw her. She was standing by the water, her figure almost blending with the mist. Her presence was both startling and serene, as if she were a part of the landscape itself. Alex felt a strange sense of familiarity, as if he had known her all his life. She stood by the water, her skin glowing like moonlight. The soft light accentuated her features, giving her an otherworldly appearance. Her hair flowed like a river of silk, and her dress fluttered gently in the breeze. She seemed to be a guardian of this magical place, a living embodiment of its beauty. Her big bright eyes looked wise and ancient, as if they held the knowledge of countless lifetimes. They were eyes that had seen the passage of time, the rise and fall of civilizations, and the endless cycles of nature. Alex felt a deep connection, a pull that he couldn't explain but couldn't resist. She turned, surprised to see him. Alex raised his hands to show he was friendly. She wasn't scared anymore, just curious. They stood quietly under the light of 2 moons. Colourful nebulae swirled above them. It was the most beautiful thing Alex had ever seen. He found himself reaching for her. Her purple eyes met his. He saw the same wonder in her eyes that he felt in his heart. They both felt amazed by the beautiful world around them. They didn't need words. They understood each other. Two people meeting far out in space, drawn together by something special. He took a step closer, his hand still out. She didn't move back. She reached out too, and their hands touched. Her touch felt cool, like a flower petal. In that touch something connected them. It was like a bridge between their worlds, their lives, everything. They spent hours by the waterfall, talking with their hands and faces. The sound of the cascading water created a soothing backdrop, blending with their laughter and the rustling of the alien flora. The waterfall was not just a natural wonder, it became a symbol of their growing connection, a place where two worlds met and communicated without words. He learned her name was Lyra. The way she pronounced it with a melodic lilt made it sound like a song. He repeated it, trying to capture the same musical quality, and she smiled, nodding in approval. In return, he told her his name, and she echoed it back, her voice wrapping around the unfamiliar syllables with surprising ease. She learned his name too. It was a moment of mutual recognition, a small but significant step in bridging the gap between their worlds. They exchanged more than just names. They shared a piece of their identities, a foundation upon which they could build understanding and friendship. They shared stories, laughing and pointing at things. He told her about the vastness of space, the missions he had been on, and the wonders of Earth. She listened with wide eyes, her expressions shifting from amazement to curiosity. In turn, she recounted tales of her planet, of ancient traditions, and the mysteries of the cosmos as seen from her world. He showed her pictures of Earth, of cities and oceans. The images fascinated her, each one a glimpse into a world so different from her own. She marveled at the skyscrapers, the bustling streets, and the endless blue of the oceans. He explained the significance of each photo, sharing stories of the places and people captured in them. She showed him the amazing things on her planet, glowing forests, caves made of crystal. The bioluminescent flora and fauna created a landscape that seemed to be pulled from a dream. The forests glowed with an ethereal light, and the crystal caves sparkled like a treasure trove. Each sight was more breathtaking than the last, a testament to the beauty and diversity of her world and creatures that lit up from the inside. These bioluminescent beings moved gracefully through the darkness, their bodies casting a soft, mesmerizing glow. He watched in awe as they danced around them, illuminating the night with their radiant light. It was a sight unlike anything he had ever seen, a reminder of the endless wonders the universe held. As the day turned to night, they sat by the waterfall, gazing up at the stars. The sky was a tapestry of constellations, some familiar, others entirely new. They pointed out the different stars and shared the stories and myths associated with them. It was a moment of shared wonder, a silent promise of more adventures to come. Their hands touched, a simple gesture that spoke volumes. In that touch, they conveyed a sense of trust and understanding, a bond that transcended the boundaries of language and culture. It was a connection forged in the language of wonder, a language that needed no words. As the moons set, Alex knew he had to leave. His spaceship and crew were waiting for him, but when he turned to go, Lyra held his hand. She looked at him, and her eyes were sad, just like his. Time seemed to stop. It was like the whole universe was watching them say goodbye. A part of Alex stayed on that planet, and he knew a part of Lyra would always be with him. When he looked at the stars, he could almost hear the waterfall, and he would always remember how her hand felt. He would remember their special love. Years later, Alex went back to the planet. He looked for Lyra. He found the waterfall shining in the same beautiful light, and there, by the water, was a glowing flower, a flower that didn't grow anywhere else. He knew it was a message from Lyra, a message of love sent across the stars.